Hello and welcome, everyone. My name is Naiva Flory, and it is my pleasure to be here with each and every one of you as one of the Million Mom Movement Council members. I'm also joined here by my fellow council members, Dominique and Sherry, and our guest today is Maria Christina, and she's going to be sharing a little bit with us some incredible stories. And so we're really grateful to have each and every one of you here for this beautiful presentation highlighting people on the spectrum and how we can best support ourselves and each other. And this presentation is called Blooming Together, Cultivating Holistic Health for Every Generation. Today is May 22nd, 2025, and we're so grateful to have each and every one of you here as part of our movement. It is our honor to be able to share educational information with each and every one of you. And today is all about supporting neurodivergence in children and families through holistic wellness. So whether you're a parent, a caregiver, educator, or just an advocate, this space is for you. And we'll be exploring the deep connection between the gut and brain connection and the role that nutrition and has on behavioral wellness and how whole foods can really help support people on the spectrum. And so before I go any further, I would love to see if Maria, if you'd like to read the pledge to us, I'll go ahead and pull the pledge up. Give me 1 second here to pull that page up for you.
Okay. Hi, everybody.
All right, give me 1 second here. All right.
Okay. I pledge to defend the health of myself and my family. I pledge to choose organic foods that are minimally processed and free of man made ingredients. I pledge to read labels and educate myself on all aspects of clean living. I understand that my actions today will positively impact the health and environment of future generations. I am committed to sharing this movement of many. I am the Million Mom Movement.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Maria. And will you share a little bit with the community about what this movement means to you?
Yeah, so I was sharing a little bit earlier that I have really learned so much from this community. I'm very quiet, so sometimes if I don't make it live, I'm watching on Facebook or I am, watching the replay of it. And I have learned so much with my children. I have a 20-year-old, a 17-year-old, and I have stepchildren, 9 and 6. And when I first had my daughter, who's 20, I didn't know anything about nutrition whatsoever. I was 27 years old. I had no idea. And the first 3 years of her life, she had processed foods and other things that she shouldn't have had, and I did too. Um, so I began learning on my own, and it was kind of lonely to learn on your own. And I was thinking, I don't know what I'm doing exactly. I'm a teacher, and I'm not really a nutritionist, and I had to kind of just find my way through trial and error with my oldest. But then, as Million Mom Movement started, I've been able to hop on and learn more and more. And even though my children are now grown, they actually know this stuff. Like they just grew up with it. And now my stepchildren are also learning about it. So it just means a lot. And I don't feel lonely anymore because I know there's people that I could reach out to if I needed help.
Amazing. Thank you so much for being here with us. Really appreciate you being part of our community. And I love that your children know what Purium has done for them and they've been able to experience it firsthand by you being their caregiver and offering this solution to them. And we'll hear a little bit more from you in a little bit, Maria. Thank you so much for sharing the pledge with
You're
us.
welcome.
And, every child blooms in their own time and in their own way. So our job is really to create the conditions where they can thrive. And so a huge part of what we found is the gut-brain connection. We often refer to the gut as a second brain, and it's for good reasons. 90% of our serotonin and feel-good neurotransmitters is made in the gut. And the gut inflammation or imbalance can also impact the mood, your behavior, focus, and your emotional regulation. So it can actually affect a lot of different areas of our mood and how we behave, as well as how we can focus in different areas. And so things that can disrupt the gut-brain connections are things like processed foods, dyes, preservatives, the antibiotic overuse, environmental toxins like glyphosate, chronic stress or trauma. These are all things that can really disrupt our mood, our behavior, and how we can communicate. And so supporting the gut naturally can really lead to better improvements in our mood and our sleep and our communication, as well as our how we focus and our emotional resilience. And of course, our overall mood and our energy levels can really benefit from us having whole foods and fruits and vegetables instead of candies or processed foods that are really low in nutrients and vitamins and high in sugars and things that really don't benefit our bodies. And so, Maria, I know you had a really great story about this, and I'd love for you to share a little bit more about how you've seen as a teacher of over 20 years, if you'll introduce yourself and share a little bit more about your profession, what you've done, and then what you've seen in the behavior of children.
Yeah, so I'm a special education teacher. I've been teaching, this will be coming up in September, will be my 23rd year. I mostly work with children that have autism and that may possibly be in a self-contained classroom or even in inclusion. And I teach elementary, so first grade. I'm mostly between K to 3, but this year I am in first grade. So I have noticed a huge difference even through the years of when I started teaching, which was 1998 to now, of with children and their behaviors. Um, Children are having really big attentional difficulties, a lot of violence in the classroom. Classrooms are destroyed. My classroom is destroyed daily. And that wasn't the case back then. So something has changed. Um, what I've noticed is, especially this year, I have a particular student that is diagnosed and is on the autism spectrum, is diagnosed with ASD and with hyperactivity. And he is every day coming in. He was coming in, he was barking, growling. He would have to be carried out of the classroom because he was so disruptive, tearing apart my room, not able to attend or focus on the lesson, even if it was a hands on lesson. And he his behavior began to change. And I just kind of to myself thought, oh, I wonder if the parents decided to put him on medication, or because there was a huge change in behavior. And I knew it wasn't just what I was doing because, just literally the day before he tore apart my classroom. So I messaged his mom and I said, I noticed the difference. He did a great job. He was able to attend. He was able to focus more. I can refocus him if he needed to be. He wasn't barking, growling, or violent. And he was doing much better and began to read. So he was 6. So we're doing reading. And she told me that she decided to cut out processed food and dyes. And I thought that was very interesting because that was huge. I mean, he was able to learn, he was starting to learn to read, and it was very quick. It was not like this long drawn thing, like he had to be on processed foods for like weeks. It was literally days. I think it was like over a weekend. And he came back different. So I thought that was amazing, and I supported her in that decision. And it was something that they have never done. The other story I wanted to tell is about lunch and breakfast at schools. I've noticed I read the ingredients, and what is given to them for their free breakfast and lunch are very processed food, and they might have minerals in it, but it's not naturally made. minerals, and definitely load it with dyes and high fructose corn syrup. So, what I've noticed is children eat that for breakfast and lunch, and within an hour, we'll begin to see even general education students, students that maybe are not diagnosed with ASD or anything else, will also become violent, angry, yelling, tearing apart classrooms, hitting teachers, um, and or hitting each other, fighting. And they're also not able to focus or concentrate on what they're doing and not be able to attend. And then about 2 hours later, they are crashing and falling asleep in class. So I've noticed this over and over again. I've noticed it at breakfast time and I noticed it at lunchtime as well. And I really made that connection that it had to be the processed food and dyes. Oh, Naiva, you're on mute.
Thank you so much for sharing those firsthand experiences, because that really shows so much, especially for somebody who is around lots of children all of the time and being able to see, these differences pretty quickly in change of behaviors just right after eating these foods that are overly processed and filled with sugars and toxic, preservatives and chemicals and all the things. And then having them, getting to witness somebody switching their child to a more plant-based diet, less, food coloring and preservatives and things in there, and really seeing that significant difference so quickly. It's something that I am so happy to hear, and I'm so happy to empower more moms to just know that that's possible. Because I feel like
Mhm.
sometimes it can be hard. We know that so many children, in general, are attracted to those more processed foods. They're colorful, they're crunchy, they're sweet, they're salty, they're all of the things. But what we know is that those also have a ton of preservatives, food colorings, and all kinds of things in them that are not so good for their bodies. So we have to balance it out and give our children and the people in our families and our whole family the ability to support our bodies and our immune systems so that we can function more optimally. And especially because we're inundated with so many toxic ingredients in our everyday food, it is so important that we learn how to include these superfoods into our daily life so that we can detox the things that are not serving us and really nourish our bodies on a cellular level. And the real transformation is happening when families nourish from the inside out. So, really nourishing ourselves and putting all those nutrients into our bodies so that way our body can function optimally. So, healing doesn't happen in isolation. When we have the support of our entire family and everybody does it together, it's so much easier. So, if you're trying to feed somebody in your family something different than what everybody else is eating, it might be hard. But if everybody's eating the same thing and you're offering, keep offering even just small portions of what everybody else is eating, include those vegetables and those fruits on the plate, make it fun. There are so many great ways to make food fun and to include them into our everyday life. You can also offer sensory friendly tools and spaces and create little play groups or different ways to really incorporate other families to connect together, right, with your children and share your stories. So I also have and Maria, you still had one more share that you wanted to share, and then I'll go into a little presentation that I have created for our community.
Yeah, I wanted to share about my daughter. She's 20. Um, she When she was 3 was when I switched her diet. And the way I figured it out was she went to a birthday party and was handed some Skittles. And she had a red Skittle, and my daughter was always happy and just really cheerful. She began to scream and hit me, and she was 3 years old, and I didn't think anything of it at that time, but then I tried it again, and it happened again, and I looked, like, what was in it, and I was like, "Ah, there's red 40," and then I looked at, what does red 40 cause? And that was exactly how she behaved, so I began to put that connection together, and partly because I was on my own at that time, and I had no idea about Purium at that time. So I began to take out all the dyes out of her diet, and she immediately changed. Like, her behavior changed. I made everything from scratch, so everything was organic and scratch. And we started when she was 3, and her whole demeanor, everything just changed. Her If she doesn't eat like that, she does have a lot of stomach issues, and as she gets older, well, as she was getting older, she would monitor it herself. So, like, now she's 20, she grew up having Purium, she's always ordering Purium, and, if she has, like, something like a candy or, like, even, like, a birthday cake that has, like, maybe icing that has dye in it, not only can I tell that she's had it for, like, a week in her system, it literally stays in her body for a long time, she can tell. So now she just realized, like, it's just not worth it. So she monitors herself. She grew up like this, and it wasn't her whole life because I didn't know her first 3 years. But after that, all our entire family's diet changed. I just changed everyone's diet. It was just easier to just make everybody whole foods, mostly plant-based, and avoiding dyes and high fructose syrup. I'm trying to figure out how to say that one. So, yeah, so that's basically how I figured it out, just by researching on my by myself and doing trial and error with her and her food. And then as we got older and I found Purium, she was on Biomedic, which was amazing, and she still is, and then she loves it. And Epigenius, at the time was Epigenius Kids, but now it's Epigenius Family. So just changing the whole diet of the whole family, and even like when we're doing activities, when I was in mom's groups or play groups, hikes, my kids would have like, well, before Purium, I would just make my own like shakes. After that, we would do like green shake or Epigenius, and it just became easier and easier. And I started finding recipes like ice pops. I used to use biofruit for ice pops for them. So, yeah, and my stepson now, he also he has hyperactivity, and he had difficulty focusing at school. And one day he saw me making a power shake, and so he tried it, and he's been eating since, I married his dad. He's been eating whole foods and organic foods. I've noticed a huge difference in his attention span, his behavior, how he's developing, how he's doing in school. And he absolutely loves Power Shake. That's like his favorite one. So he almost always winds up taking mine. So yeah, it's amazing.
I love hearing how this has benefited your whole family and how even though, as a young mom, you started to notice differences in your own daughter's behavior and doing your own kind of trial and error of learning and reading labels and kind of educating yourself. And so finding this movement and being a part of this movement is, such a gift to you and so many others that are looking for community and somewhere where we can connect together with other like-minded people that are on this mission to just really help support our bodies, in a wholesome way, with holistic nutrition. So I did create a little presentation for you all today. I'm really excited to share a little bit more about, blooming together and how we can really cultivate holistic health for every generation and how we can transform together as a family because we can't transform alone. It's something that we do together as a family, and we have such better results when we have support. We can all say that, when we've done some kind of group activity and you have the accountability, it's always so much more fun when you have other people to lean on. And so when you do any kind of health transformation as a community or as a family, it's always more helpful when everybody incorporates the different changes and habits. And so today we're blooming together, cultivating holistic health for every generation. I want to encourage all of you to take this information into consideration for yourself. Our intention is to raise awareness and change the standard American diet. Here at the Million Mom Movement, we're really aiming to help more people move from a demineralized and overly processed diet to one that is rich in pure whole foods, an organic plant-based lifestyle that benefits the health of the consumer and the earth. And so by divesting from the foods that are potentially harming our health and investing into nourishing superfoods, we can optimize our health and leave the planet better than we found it. So I really want to pay attention to the nutrient density because it is so essential in our food. And we know that so much of our food has been demineralized, it's overprocessed, it has no nutrients left in it, or if there is, they're added vitamins and nutrients into the food. And so many individuals with ASD have dietary preferences that lean towards processed foods that are high in sugar, artificial additives, and allergens, which can exuberate symptoms and impair cognitive function. So by prioritizing whole nutrient-dense foods such as fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats, we can provide the essential vitamins and minerals necessary for optimal brain function and physical health. Individualized approaches are key when it comes to nutrition for autism. What works for one person may not work for another, so it's essential to listen to individuals' needs and preferences. Additionally, promoting food acceptance and expanding food repertoires through gradual exposure and positive reinforcement can help broaden dietary choices and ensure adequate nutrition. Incorporating familiar foods alongside new or challenging options in a supportive environment can also encourage experimentation and reduce mealtime stress. So, as we strive to support individuals on the autism spectrum, let's not overlook the transformative power of nutrition by recognizing the importance of dietary interventions tailored to individual needs. We can empower individuals with ASD to thrive and lead fulfilling lives. So fruits and vegetables are really important, and sometimes it can be challenging due to textures or different sensory sensitivities, but it's really important to really diversify and explore what fruits or vegetables your family loves the most, and maybe make some fruit salads or different smoothies or different kinds of ways that you can get the fruits in different textures and varieties. Fruits and vegetables are rich in vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, and fruits and vegetables support overall health and cognitive function. So it's really important that instead of reaching for candy or sweets or popsicles, that we're reaching for fruits when possible, or using those fruits to make the popsicles or nice creams or things that we want to feed our children. Colorful options like berries, leafy greens, bell peppers, provide a wide range of nutrients that promote brain health and reduce inflammation. Now, the colorful options of berries and all of those can go in many varieties, right? There's so many out there. And then incorporating a variety of fruits and vegetables can help diversify the diet and ensure adequate nutrient intake. So, like I said earlier, giving some options that might not be as favorable alongside maybe some of their favorite foods and just having them take at least one bite or, just trying to have some fun ways that you include it. I know that in the past we've also suggested, doing art with food, so using broccoli like little trees and maybe other types of foods and making it fun. So I'm gonna go ahead and so omega-rich foods, foods high in omega-3 fatty acids are really important for your brain and your cognitive function. And so things such as fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, or sardines, you can also get that from flax seeds, chia seeds, walnuts, and they're all beneficial for brain health and cognitive function. So omega-3 fatty acids play a crucial role in reducing inflammation and supporting neural development, which may benefit individuals with autism spectrum disorder. So lean proteins is also super important. Lean protein sources such as poultry, eggs, tofu, legumes provide essential amino acids necessary for neurotransmitter synthesis and muscle growth. So protein-rich foods help stabilize blood sugar levels, promote satiety, and support energy levels throughout the day. So it's really important that we're getting enough protein in our family members because it can also help regulate our mood so we don't have those mood crashes. A lot of times, if we're eating too much sugar and not enough protein, it can really cause some issues with us having a level mind throughout the day. So, or level head. So, expanding your food choices through gradual exposure and positive reinforcement can really improve variety and reduce stress. And then pairing the familiar foods with new options in a supportive environment encourages the exploration. And then structured mealtime routines is also really important, such as predictable schedules. So if everybody in the family knows that dinner is at a certain time or lunch is at a certain time, breakfast is at a certain time, then it can really help them predict when it is that they're going to be eating. And then of course you can offer them some varieties. Visual meal guides are really helpful and distraction-free settings. So not having TVs or screens visible and just really focusing on chewing and digesting food at that time. This can really help individuals feel more at ease and improving their eating experience and overall nutrition. So as we strive to support individuals on the spectrum, let's not overlook the transformative power of nutrition by recognizing the importance of dietary interventions tailored to individual needs, that we can really empower everybody to lead fuller lives. So expanding food, oh, let's see, I went to okay, so whole grains. Whole grains like brown rice, quinoa, oats, and whole wheat provide complex carbohydrates, fiber, and B vitamins that support sustained energy and digestive health. Fiber-rich foods promote gut health and regularity, which may be beneficial for individuals with ASD who may experience gastrointestinal issues. Also, probiotic-rich foods are really important because fermented foods such as yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, and kimchi contain beneficial probiotics that support gut health as well as immune function. So, emerging research suggests a connection between gut health and neurological function, making probiotic-rich foods potentially beneficial for individuals on the spectrum. And then nuts and seeds. I know this can be there's some people that, say no nuts and seeds. There are certain ones that are okay. Nuts and seeds are nutrient-dense snacks rich in healthy fats, proteins, fiber, and essential vitamins and minerals. Options like almonds, pumpkin seeds, and sunflower seeds provide magnesium, which plays a role in calming the nervous system and reducing anxiety. And then water, of course, staying hydrated is essential for overall health and cognitive function, and encouraging individuals on the spectrum to drink an adequate amount of water throughout the day supports hydration and may improve focus and concentration as well. So all that we consume on a daily basis directly determines our mood, our energy, the quality of our life, and how we feel function affects not only ourselves, but our family as well. So it's something to take into consideration. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about epigenetics because epigenetics is something that we don't talk about enough. And I feel like sometimes we forget. I often hear people say, well, it's in my genes. We were born with it. We can't reverse it. So what is epigenetics and how does it relate to autism? Epigenetics is a study of how our environment, let me move this little screen thing, nutrition, lifestyle, and even emotional experiences can influence the way our genes are expressed. Without changing the DNA sequence itself, think of your DNA as the blueprint for a building, and epigenetics as the switches that decided which lights are turned on, dimmed, or turned off in different rooms. These switches are influenced by external factors like stress, toxins, diet, sleep, and emotional environment. Epigenetics and autism. Autism is a complex neurodevelopmental condition, and while genetics play a role, it's not solely determined by inherited genes. This is where epigenetics comes in. Environmental toxins like heavy metals, pesticides, and air pollutants can be factors. Nutritional deficiencies such as folate, B12, zinc, and omega-3s can also be factors. Gut microbiome imbalances, infections, or immune symptom challenges early in life can also be cofactors. The good news is epigenetics can be influenced. Unlike your DNA, which is fixed, epigenetic expression can be changed and often improved through supportive lifestyle choices. This is especially helpful for families navigating autism. By supporting the body and the brain through whole food nutrition, gentle detoxification, microbiome repair, stress reduction, targeted supplementation, you can create a more favorable environment for gene expression, potentially improving behavior, mood regulation, digestion, and overall quality of life for somebody on the spectrum. Understanding epigenetics. Ever wonder how your genes respond to your habits and surroundings? That's where epigenetics comes in. What is epigenetics? It's a study of how your behaviors and environment can cause changes and affect the way your genes work. So, unlike genetic changes, epigenetic changes are reversible and do not change your DNA sequence, but they can change how your body reads a DNA sequence. So, your genes play an important role in your health, but so do your behaviors and environment, such as what you eat and how physically active you are. Gene expression refers to how often or when proteins are created from the instructions within your genes. So while genetic changes can alter which protein is made, epigenetic changes affect gene expression, which turns genes on or off. So since your environment and behaviors such as diet and exercise can result in epigenetic changes, it is easy to see the connection between your genes, your eating behaviors, and environmental toxins. By recognizing the signs of heavy metal toxicity and understanding the reasons to detoxify, you can take proactive measures to support your body's natural detoxification processes and promote overall well being. So, whether it's through dietary changes, lifestyle modifications, or specialized detox protocols, prioritizing heavy metal detox can lead to improved health, vitality, and resilience in the face of environmental toxins. Signs of heavy metal toxicity in individuals with autism. So before exploring why a gentle heavy metal detox may be helpful, it's important to recognize the signs of potential toxicity, especially as they may present in children or adults on the autism spectrum. People with autism often have unique metabolic, neurological, and detoxification profiles. For some, environmental toxins, including heavy metals like mercury, lead, aluminum, and cadmium, can build up in the body and may contribute to or intensify symptoms such as behavioral challenges, digestive issues, or sensory processing difficulties. While signs of heavy metal accumulation can vary from person to person, the following symptoms are commonly observed and may warrant further investigation. Fatigue and low energy. Heavy metals can interfere with mitochondrial function, which impacts how the body makes energy. Individuals may seem unusually tired, unmotivated, or disengaged, or may fluctuate between high activity and total burnout. Cognitive and processing difficulties. Increased brain fog, difficulties concentrating, slower processing, or even regressing in communication or motor skills may be signs of toxic stress on the nervous system. Gastrointestinal distress. Digestive problems are common in autism and may be worsened by metal toxicity. Signs include bloating, constipation, diarrhea, reflux, and food sensitivities that seem to shift or intensify. Then there's emotional dysregulation and mood swings. Heavy metals can disrupt neurotransmitter balance, contributing to increased anxiety, irritability, aggression, meltdowns, or unpredictable emotional reactions, excuse me. Joint and muscle pain, while often hard to articulate, especially for nonverbal individuals, signs like restlessness, flinching from touch, decreased range of motion, or resistance to movement could indicate underlying discomfort or pain linked to inflammation. Skin sensitivities and irritations. Rashes, eczema, acne, and other skin reactions may be more common. Additionally, Hypersensitivity to textures, water, or touch may intensify when the body's detox symptoms are overwhelmed. Then we have respiratory sensitivities. Exposure to airborne metals from pollution, from smoke, from environmental toxins may lead to coughing, congestion, and shortness of breath, especially with children with sensitive lungs or sensory sensitivities. And then compromised immune function. Frequent illness, slow recovery from infections, or chronic inflammation may reflect an overloaded immune system, a common consequence of long-term toxic burden. So because detoxification pathways may be less efficient in some individuals with autism, the body can retain metals longer, making symptoms more persistent or severe. So early recognition of these signs can empower families and caregivers to seek gentler food-based detox strategies that support both physical and neurological wellness. The reasons people on the spectrum benefit from detoxing heavy metals. So many individuals on the spectrum have unique biological and neurological needs. Research and lived experience suggest that environmental toxins, including heavy metals, may accumulate more easily in some neurodivergent individuals due to differences in detoxification pathways, methylation, or gut health. Detoxification, when done safely and gently, can support the body's natural processes and help reduce the toxic burden that may be intensifying certain symptoms or challenges. So, supporting the cognitive function and focus. Heavy metals like mercury and lead are known to impact brain health. So, for people with autism, detoxing may support clearer thinking, better focus, improving memory, and smoother communication. Reduce sensory overload and emotional reactivity. Toxic buildup can contribute to heightened stress responses. Detoxing may help regulate the mood, ease meltdowns or shutdowns, and reduce sensory sensitivities, allowing for more calm and connection. Improved gut-brain connection. Many autistic individuals experience digestive issues, which are closely tied to brain health. Heavy metal uh, detox can reduce inflammation, help restore gut balance, and support better absorption of nutrients vital for neurological development. So, strengthening the immune system with heavy metals can weaken immunity. So, leading to chronic infections, inflammation, or autoimmune issues, detoxing may enhance immune resilience and reduce the frequency of illness or flare ups. Balance and neurotransmitters and hormones. Toxic metals interfere with production and function of neurotransmitters like serotonin, dopamine, and GABA, all crucial for emotional regulation and behavior. A gentle detox can support more stable moods and better sleep. Reducing toxic load from everyday exposure. Children and adults with autism may be more sensitive to chemicals in food, water, air, and personal care products. So, detoxing helps the body clear out what it cannot tolerate, supporting overall resilience and reducing environmental sensitivity. Encourage developmental progress. So, when the body is clearer of toxins, it may be easier to learn, engage, self regulate, and connect. Families often report that detoxifications helps create a healthier foundation for therapies, learning, and day-to-day interactions. A gentle, nourishing approach. Detoxing doesn't have to be extreme. In fact, for individuals with autism, it's best when it's food-based, gentle, and supported by nutrients that aid natural detox pathways. And then we do have some supplements here, but I'll go into that in a minute. We have another slide for that. So the imperative of heavy metal detoxification, given the potential health risks associated with heavy metal toxicity, detoxification is essential for restoring and maintaining optimal health. Fortunately, nature provides us with the powerful detoxifying agents like fulvic and Craxel chlorella, which can assist in removing of heavy metals from the body. By supporting the body's natural detoxification pathways, these potent remedies help eliminate accumulated toxins and restore balance. Fulvic zeolite. So this is one of my very favorites. Fulvic zeolite is amazing. It's a natural mineral compound formed from volcanic ash and seawater, and it possesses a unique crystalline structure with a high surface area and negative charge, making it highly effective to attract and trap heavy metals. Zeolite is one of the few negatively charged minerals that has been synergistically combined with fulvic acid to create fulvic zeolite, which acts like a magnet, drawing positively charged toxins and heavy metals out of the body. One of the remarkable properties of fulvic zeolite is its ability to selectively target heavy metals while leaving essential minerals unharmed. This selectivity ensures that the vital nutrients are not depleted during the detoxification process, maintaining the body's overall balance and well-being. So we recommend combining it with Craxel chlorella for the added assimilation and heavy metal detoxification. An effective part of a detoxification. Oh, this is an effective part of a detoxification program, and it may help balance pH levels and help restore electrical conductivity in the body as well. And then Craxel chlorella. It's a single-celled freshwater algae renowned for its detoxifying properties. Craxel chlorella is cultivated in a controlled environment with filtered water and nutrients. The outer cell wall of chlorella is notoriously tough, making it difficult for the body to absorb its nutrients fully. However, through a specialized process, the cell wall is cracked open, increasing the bioavailability of its beneficial compounds. Now, I just want to share a quick little story. Cracked cell chlorella, you can find it in many different places. Most companies have to heat up their chlorella to crack the cell of the chlorella, making it more bioavailable to us. At Purium, they put it in a sound room and they use sound to crack the cell of the chlorella, making it more bioavailable to our bodies. I think that is just an amazing little fun fact, and it makes it more nutrient dense because we're not heating the algae at any point in the processing. So just wanted to share that fun fact as well. Chlorella also contains a high concentration of chlorophyll, a powerful detoxifier that helps to remove heavy metals from the bloodstream. Additionally, chlorella is rich in antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals, which support the body's natural detoxification pathways and promotes overall health. They are easily digestible, binder-free, and the tablets are a great addition to any cleansing regimen. So this may support the body's cleansing of toxins and heavy metals. It's nature's richest whole food source of chlorophyll, and it also may aid in achieving healthy blood lipids. So chlorella is one of my favorites as well. Really great one for everybody in the family of all ages. So we have a little heavy metal detox guide. I've heard so many stories about parents of children on the spectrum, starting with just the simple fulvic zeolite and Craxel chlorella to really get them started and seeing incredible benefits in their mood, their behavior, their communication. I had one of my friends had a 4-year-old, and after I think just a week or two on using some of these superfoods, she had found them on her own accord and created her own package for her son. And within a first couple weeks, her 4-year-old, who had been nonverbal, started calling her mama. And it just makes my heart so full to know that something as simple as these superfoods can help a mom have that experience. And so that's how powerful these superfoods are. And so the synergistic action for enhanced detoxification. Fulvic zeolite and Craxel chlorella offers potent support for heavy metal detoxification, helping to remove toxic metals from the body while supporting overall health and well-being. So by harnessing the power of these natural detoxifiers, individuals can take proactive steps towards reducing their heavy metal burden and promoting long-term vitality. So remember to prioritize quality, purity, and proper dosing when selecting fulvic zeolite and Craxel chlorella. to maximize their effectiveness and safety. When combining fulvic zeolite and Croxel chlorella, they work synergistically to enhance the detoxification process. So the fulvic zeolite is acting as a chelating agent, binding to the heavy metals and facilitating their removal from the body, while Croxel chlorella supports the liver function and provides additional detoxification support through its rich nutrient profile. So these two together are really beneficial for the body and so good at just a basic heavy metal protocol for anybody in the family. So many of us have heavy metals. And so if you related to any of the signs of having heavy metal toxicity, then this could benefit you as well. And so something that we really strive here at the Million Mom Movement is really promoting the best quality superfoods that we've been able to find. And so something that we love to share about is the company Purium that we represent and the 10-point quality commitment and the 10-point purity commitment. And this is really what we should be looking for as we're reading labels. And I know it can be so challenging because when we read labels, there's always bound to be one of these things on those labels, but do your best, right? These are the things, this is what we're looking for, is for organically farmed fruits and vegetables or foods in the store, regeneratively farmed if you can, and all the good ingredients as much as possible, no artificial colors or flavors, sweeteners, vitamins, binders, fillers, GMOs, all of those things that we're trying to avoid so that we can have optimal health for ourselves and our families. So this is a time to celebrate the unique experiences of individuals on the autism spectrum and promote greater understanding and support. So a thoughtful approach to nutrition can profoundly impact their well-being. So many individuals on the spectrum face challenges with food due to sensory sensitivities, selective eating, or digestive issues. Nutrition plays a vital role in health, with which research showing it can influence behavior, cognition, and physical health. So the gut-brain connection is especially important. Studies suggest gut health affects neurological function with a balanced microbiome, potentially easing symptoms like gastrointestinal discomfort and improving mood and behavior. So including probiotics, prebiotics, and fiber-rich foods can support this. Nutrient-dense foods are also key. So many on the spectrum prefer processed foods that can worsen the symptoms. So prioritizing whole foods like fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats provide essential nutrients for brain and body health. And then individualized nutrition plans are essential as every person has unique needs. Working with healthcare professionals can really help to address any sensitivities, allergies, or texture preferences to create a tailored approach to the intervention and adding in new things. So we're going to go into some of the products that are recommended for those on the spectrum or those we're trying to support. So Biomedic is one of our top, besides the heavy metal, fulvic zeolite and chlorella. Biomedic is really the top one that we recommend because it supports gut health by reducing glyphosate levels. And we know that glyphosate is found in, so much of our food. It's sprayed around our schools, our, playgrounds, around our apartment complexes. It's just everywhere. And there's really no avoiding it. So detoxing glyphosate can be a #1 thing that we do. It also is a pre and probiotic. So just like I mentioned on the prior slide, those are both really beneficial for gut health. So it supports gut health by reducing glyphosate levels, enhancing microbiome balance, and improving nutrient absorption. It promotes better digestion, mood, and focus by supporting the gut-brain connection. And the fulvic zeolite and the chlorella, we already talked about those in depth. Apothecary supports restful sleep and antioxidant production with natural melatonin and phytonutrients. It helps to enhance sleep quality, which is essential for emotional regulation and focus. So the great thing about this is that instead of giving anybody a melatonin supplement, we're giving them a tart cherry juice concentrate, which helps to create melatonin naturally in your body. Ionic Elements is another great one. It supports hydration, cellular communication, and replenishment of essential trace minerals. So improves energy production, nervous system health, and overall balance. So those are all really great to get somebody started on, that is on the spectrum. And we have a second page here, hang tight. So the other ones that we recommend is the green spectrum with the carrot juice plus. So this supports cellular health, detoxification, and immune function with nutrient-rich greens and beta-carotene. If you mix the two together, provides a foundational nutrients to promote steady energy and brain health. In Focus is a great tincture. It supports mental clarity and focus with a blend of herbs. And then also improves attention span, memory, and cognitive performance. We also love Aloe Digest. This really helps the gut lining health and digestive function. It enhances nutrient absorption and soothes the digestive system. And then zinc aid is really important as well because zinc actually has so many of your vitamins in it. So it supports immune health and brain function with zinc, but it also has vitamins C, A, D, and E in it as well. It also aids in neurotransmitter balance and supports immunity. So all of those are really the basis of helping somebody. And then we have, of course, our Epigenius family, which is a chocolate protein shake that has Biomedic in it. It has protein, fruits, vegetables, and our proprietary blend for gut health, all within the one chocolate shake. So we love Epigenius family. It's great for everybody. It helps with brain development and cognitive support. It's packed with essential nutrients like DHA, EPA, and plant-based omegas, which are critical for brain development and cognitive function. Why it matters, many individuals on the spectrum benefit from added support for focus, memory, and learning. And then balanced nutrition. It provides a well-rounded blend of organic fruits, vegetables, superfoods, um, to fill potential nutrient gaps in our diet. So the thing I love about this is as super busy moms, parents, caregivers, we're often, giving our kids whatever we have access to on the go. We're always busy. And so having this readily available, you just mix it with the plant-based milk of your choice, or even just with water and make them a quick chocolate shake. You can make nice cream with it, with some frozen bananas and coconut cream. There's so many ways you can use it to get it into their bodies, but it will make you feel so much better if that said child is then eating, pizza or chicken nuggets or whatever the thing later that maybe doesn't have as much nutrients in it. You'll feel a lot better because you'll know that they got that into their diet that day anyways. So a nutrient-dense diet supports overall wellness, energy, and mood regulation. And then, of course, gentle on digestion, made with clean organic ingredients that are easy to sensitive digestive systems. And then many on the spectrum experience digestive sensitivities. So it's really important that you take note of what foods they are sensitive to and try to avoid those. And so this is a suggested plan for anybody that's helping somebody on the spectrum, how you would use those products on a daily basis, having your Biomedic in the morning with the fulvic zeolite and zinc aid, some cracked cell chlorella, the In Focus, of course, having your Epigenius shake at some point throughout the day. But this is really how to get started. And so as we conclude our call, we come to the end of our call, the Million Mom Movement invites you to connect with this passionate community of parents, caregivers, and advocates. And so every Thursday now, we're meeting for these conversations on various topics. And on these weekly calls, we are sharing about different things. So we'll get to that on the next slide. But why would you want to join? So you can discover practical tips and resources to support your family's health and wellness, connect with like-minded individuals who share your commitment to creating a brighter future, explore new ways to make a positive impact in your home and your community. And sorry, there's typos on here. Every third Thursday, we are supporting autistic family members through our presentations. So please join us every third Thursday for those presentations like this one, where we'll be talking more on this subject and sharing more valuable resources. So during these sections, we explore topics like nutrition strategies to improve health and well-being, tools for managing sensory sensitivities and selective eating, practical tips for fostering connection and communication, and then creating supportive routines for mealtime and daily activities. So whether you're a parent, a caregiver, or simply interested in learning more, these sessions offer valuable insights and actionable advice to help your autistic family members and everyone else in your community as well. So I would love to invite you to go over to our YouTube channel. If you have your phone handy, you can scan the QR code here on the screen, and you can go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel where we have over 300 replays of different presentations, but there is at least a dozen presentations that feature information about autism. So these are some of the names of the presentations where we have talked specifically about autism and nutrition and different ways that pertains to our family members and how we can support them. And so please go to our YouTube channel. A really great way that you can sometimes find the replays you're looking for is to just go to Google and Google Million Mom Movement and Autism or Million Mom Movement and Spectrum and see what pops up. And often a lot of the replays will pop up that way. So I did have an end screen here, but I apparently lost it. So let me go find it again and bring it back up. I want to thank all of you guys for joining us here today for this incredible presentation and just being here with all of us and for being here for the whole presentation. And I hope that you learned something. So if you'd like to drop something in the chat, something that you've learned today, I'd love to hear from you of just one takeaway that you have that you would like to share. And I'm going to go ahead and pull up my closeout screen. And if this is your first presentation that you're attending, I would love to just invite you to reach back out to the person that invited you here today because they really did select you to come to this presentation because they thought this information would impact you and your family in a positive way. And so they would love to share additional information with you, help you find additional replays if you'd like to see other replays from other presentations that we've done. And we'd also like to invite you to like, follow, and share and become a part of our movement. So if you're not yet, I would like to invite you all to go over to our Facebook page, follow Million Mom Movement or like Million Mom Movement. It's a page on Facebook. We also have a group called Million Mom Movement Official. That's where replays are posted, as well as any tools that we use during these presentations. And then you can go ahead and follow us on Instagram. If you're on Instagram, please go ahead and tag us on your stories, tag us on your posts. I'll do my best to repost you on Instagram. And then last but not least, of course, go subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can find over 300 replays. You can use these hashtags to be discovered more as part of our community, or you can also look up these hashtags to see what other people in the community are posting about and get inspired by what we're all doing here together. And so last but not least, I would love to invite you to our future Zooms. Next week, we're actually going to have a special guest. We had a little change in schedules, but we're gonna have a special guest next week. Amy Venner is gonna come and share with us how the Million Mom Movement first started and how far it has come over the past 20 years. And so we're so excited to have all of you there next week where we'll be sharing more and Amy will be our special guest. But every month, this is our schedule. So in June, on the first Thursday in June, we will be having a featured presentation about pregnancy and nutrition. Second Thursday in June, we'll be talking about creating financial freedom with Dominique. And then the third Thursday in June, we'll be having another autism support Zoom just like this one. So we hope you'll join us again. Thank you so much for being here with us today, and we'll see you all next week. Have a beautiful day, everyone.